Welcome back to the pod, everybody. I'm your host, Alex Dragovich, and happy Trans Visibility Day. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right? Happy
I think
trans.
it just happened.
Oh, was it yesterday?
Yeah, but you're seeing it late, like how when you see a star after it's died. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's also April Fool's Day. Oh, so it's not Trans Visibility Day. Okay. Well, I'm your host, Alex Dragovich, and I'm joined with me today, very special guest, Maddie Wiener, everybody.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Shout out to the drag queens, too, the real drag queens and my drag queens. You guys are loved.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I know, dude. Big day for all of us.
Drag queens?
Yeah, those are my fans.
So good.
I know, dude. It's awesome. It shows some support. I feel like I didn't really stumble with the trans visibility stuff. I feel like I said it with my chest. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it
I think
right.
that felt good.
Yeah, it was good. Maddie Wiener, welcome on the pod, dude. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
I always say this to all women when they're on the pod. How's the Ozempic going? I say this to
Great, actually. Literally took it this morning.
I say it to every woman gets a how's your Ozempic treatment when they start.
It's the new
here.
birth control pill. Not that it's birth control, but it's just like a thing that you're like, this is part of my life now.
But yeah, when I did your pod a couple months ago, you were like about to start. Is that okay to talk about?
Oh yeah, I'm an open book about that, dude.
I should have asked before the pod started, but
No. I'm like totally an open book about that.
Let's get into it. How do you feel?
Really good.
Okay.
Really good. I mean, it's like
you look great, dude. By the way,
dude, thank you so much.
I don't know how to toe the line of like it's like to be like it's super noticeable. Or what?
Alex,
Yeah.
I don't know if you are aware of my like theater kid background life.
Yeah.
You're never a basketball player calling me skinny is never gonna insult me.
Right.
You're never gonna fly too close to the sun with that.
Okay,
no,
great.
But I know some people do get, but I thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I lost like 20 pounds, I think.
Really?
20, 30 pounds. I lost like 20 pounds by myself and then like 10 more on it in the last like month and a half or something. 2
20
months.
pounds by yourself. Yeah. How do you gauge? Wait, Connor, can we pause for a sec?
Yeah.
Are these like a little bit further back than normal?
Yeah, we've moved this stuff up. What are you noticing?
Is there any way I can move back just a little bit?
Yeah,
'Cause I
your
feel like
knees, you're just too long.
I feel like I'm really turning my head forward. Is that okay? Here. This is great right here. I just want to make sure. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Still good. Yeah, you're good.
This is so funny because are we going again?
Yeah.
It's just so funny because we just stopped to adjust the microphones, but in the edit, it's probably gonna look like I was like, I lost 30 pounds, and you just jumped back 5 feet.
Oh shit! Yeah, I needed to adjust my knees for a second. If there was a quick pause there, for anybody noticing the delay there.
Alice called me a fat whore, and we had to cut it out.
I called her fat, and Maddie said, "Time out, time out. This needs to stop." Happy Trans Visibility Day, everybody. So you're fat, not anymore though.
You're like, yeah, I can see you. You're huge.
But okay, you said 20 on your own. How fucking? That's first off, congratulations.
Thank
that's
you.
Really hard,
Dude.
I know.
Well, and it's hard too if you're fat because you like don't even really see it. Like as a percentage of your body mass,
Right.
You know what I mean? The more weight you lose, the more you notice like
Right.
little changes.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, I don't really think I've lost that much weight. And then I weighed myself and I was like, oh, damn. It just didn't make a dent.
I had a different weight loss journey in college. I was like a guard, so I legitimately had to be thinner. Like I had a little bit of a
Oh, wow.
thing.
Just for like the speed and agility of it?
Yeah, because I came in as like at probably 6'6", probably 225, and they wanted me to play at like 205.
Brutal that we had the same starting weight. Absolutely brutal.
As Maddie, if you were playing in the ACC, you would also have to lose a few pounds. So this is something to
Stretch
to
me
note.
out, dude, and I can.
yeah. You could be a long guard. If you were my height, you would have gotten a scholarship.
This is what guys on the bench look like. They keep them compact and then they stretch them out when they put them on the court.
That is true. Every team has like a shorter dude. But yeah, no, it's like those first couple weeks of losing weight is unbearable.
Yeah.
But does
And you're,
Ozempic
like,
make it
hungry all the
easier?
time? Yeah, I'm actually on Zepbound, but it's like pretty much the same thing.
What's the big difference?
Instead
there?
of semaglutide, it's trizepatide, I think. But it's like the same thing. The big difference is just this was the cheapest one to buy out of pocket.
Oh, okay.
And they have like this company has like a cheap program where you can get it for like a couple $100 instead of like it's usually like $2,000 a month. Where I was like, okay, then that's just fucking not gonna happen, you know?
Were you worried at all about getting like discount Ozempic, like being like,
no, because it's not the shady
like grow
shit. It's not the shady shit. I know people who do that. The like fucking the like ones that aren't FDA regulated.
So what happens there? Do you get like a weird growth on your foot or something? Is it like
I don't know. That shit scares the fuck out of me, dude.
Right?
I think it's like I know people who are like get sick a lot or like
sure.
It's just like
oh really? Like it affects their immune system then?
No, like like the side effects are worse.
Yeah,
because it's just like I think it's kind of just a big question mark. But no, this one's like the real brand name from a company. They just have this like cheaper program for some reason.
Everything women take, it just fucking destroys your body.
Dude, the pill made me suicidal.
Right.
And I had to get off it.
Yes.
And then I got an IUD. And then you're like, do I want to I want to kill myself so a guy can like come inside me.
It's really that simple. A guy being like, "Why are you acting like this?" And she's like, You don't have to wear a condom. You can shoot up the club whenever you want. So I get to yell at you." That's pretty much what it is,
dude,
right?
I had a thought because I had to get my IUD like ran out the 8-year thing. I had to get a new one, and I did it. You know, they put you under anesthesia. And then put it in, and then so you have to sign a thing that's like with any anesthesia, you have to sign a thing that's like I'm aware that I might die during this procedure, and I won't sue you. And I'm like, I'm gonna die for a fucking guy on the Lower East Side that I'm like, you liked my set at Sesh? Like, what are we talking about?
Every
dude?
23-year-old guy with a girl, yo, why is Shannon acting up lately? Because she's trying to help you out, dude. She wants you to, condomless sex. She gets to act up.
Yeah.
That's so. And now you're okay. Wait, are you on? Wait, you're not on the pill anymore, right?
No, I have an IUD, and I'm on fucking skinny juice, Zepbound.
Zepbound.
Yeah.
Okay, Zepbound, IUD, and the IUD has less side effects.
Yeah, IUD. I don't even notice that shit, dude. It's
great.
Okay. And I think it's more effective than the pill. To be fair, I'm not using it right now, but it is there. Break in case of emergency.
Oh, yeah. Not using it as in like you haven't been dating as much.
Yeah. You can't like tuck it away, you know? Yeah.
You don't. It's not like
like a guy's in me and I'm like, don't make me use this. I have a remote detonator.
It's not in your drawer. Yeah. It's not next to your vibrator.
That's what an IUD is. It's just an ejector button for a dick.
That is. There's nothing that guys. Do you think guys would take the birth control pill if we had one, a male one?
Not if it had the side effects that women have. I don't think.
We don't want tummy aches.
Yeah.
Or what else is going on? You go crazy.
Yeah, you kind of go crazy. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, I don't know. Would you get the where they cut it and you can reverse it?
So vasectomies were a big part of the conversation.
Thank you. I have a really good vocabulary.
Our
back of house laugh on that one.
Dude, well, he talked about it last week too. He's looking into it.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Our patrons are going off.
They're gonna have to give you a vasectomy with like the big scissors they use when they like
when
name
you're opening a store.
Yeah.
When you open a store. Yeah.
When they give someone the key to the city.
The store is open, folks.
You're gonna pay with a giant check.
Yeah. There's a new Bank of America in town, and also Alex got a vasectomy. Same day, same scissors. Yeah, they gave me the key to the city. Yeah, no, dude. It's something. The only thing I'm worried about is this is true. This is true, 100% true. I actually had hernia surgery when I was like 9.
Whoa.
I was like helping my dad like with the mulch in the front yard. So like it's like when you lift something up, your intestines like my intestines like essentially broke and like slipped into my balls. Sorry for the graphic. So I was 9 years old, like with like a giant sack, and I had to get actual surgery.
Your intestines were in your balls?
I'm pretty sure, Connor, you can fact check. That's what a hernia is, but essentially something like that. Inguinal hernia. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Maybe not intestines, but some muscle.
Sarah Squirm sketch.
Yeah, no, sincerely. Yeah. Part of the intestine or abdominal tissue. Yes. So it goes.
So if you ate something, would it be like, oh, I just got kicked in the balls?
So The doctor said I was actually quite lucky because like I was doing this at 9 years old. He was like, if you were like 17, this would be the most painful thing of your life because your balls would just be. So I have.
Wait, does it not hurt to get kicked in the balls pre-puberty?
When you're a kid, not really.
Really?
Yeah, when you're like 9, 8, it's like a vagina. You see how I did not stick that landing? It's a vagina. Essentially, kind of.
Happy Trans Day of Visibility.
Happy
everybody.
Trans Visibility, everybody. Welcome back to the pod. Yeah, it really is like, it doesn't hurt as bad. So, but I had like a scar there, and like I got stitches down there. I had legitimate surgery on my balls, and I've have like, and for a long time, even now, like that part of my, it's like kind of sensitive. Like it's a sensitive. The right side of my, I would, sometimes I don't know if you're the right guest to keep going. It's like
I'm down.
Me talking to a woman. So here's how my balls feel. First 10 minutes, me talking to a woman.
Have you lost weight? Dude, my ball on this side.
If you put your hand right here, man, just on camera, if you touch this part, it's how it feels.
I'm with it. It's actually interesting.
So it is like, this right side of my like lower part of my pelvis area is like sensitive.
Not just the ball, it's like around.
It's like around there, and if I'm being even more, what am I'm gonna call it vulnerable? Probably not vulnerable after I say this.
What
but
am I being fucking vulnerable?
But when I get a blowjob, when I get a blowjob, like. I think it's because of what happens, like of what has happened to me. I am not like a don't cut my balls guy. I'm like a don't suck the balls, don't cut the balls. And it's because of it's because of my.
Because the body keeps the score.
Yeah. It's a sensitive area, and I can't say like when a girl's like cut. I can't say, hey, can you not, like I had inguinal hernia surgery when I was 9.
Yeah, because if she cuts you off, that sounds really bad. Hey, can you not touch me like that when I was 9? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were Catholic. I'm so sorry.
No, yeah. So that is that's a real thing. It's a real thing that,
wow.
Inguinal hernia surgery.
Inguinal.
I think that's how you say it. I'm not going to, fact check that, but yeah, kind of actually. Could you mind like
sounds
going
like
back? I don't really want to. So actually, this is true. This is true.
Really
when in health class, like sophomore year, when we started talking about balls and stuff, I had to like walk out of class. It's a very
men would not take our birth control. Sorry.
Well, I wouldn't.
I'm really sorry that happened to you.
Here's what I'll say, dude.
There's no way you could like be a woman.
Would I be like a shitty woman? I think I'd be yeah.
I mean if ball surgery is your rape, then like it's gonna be a cold splash of water to the face.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot for me.
No, I genuinely am. It does sound hard.
10 straight minutes of being like, listen, like this is my trauma. This is my big trauma. This is the only trauma I have is I had ball surgery when I was like 9. And I don't like getting cupped during a BJ. If I have a girlfriend in my like now I'm in my 30s, if I have a girlfriend for a while and she's like, first off, because I also I don't know how you feel about this, but I really don't want kids. That's why the vasectomy thing. That's why the vasectomy thing is like creeping up on me.
Is this a recent decision? Or have you always known?
I have come around to I cannot imagine. I mean, like maybe one. No, I don't think so. No, the chaperone thing that went viral, where she's like, no one I know with kids is happy.
Whoa, had not seen that.
She said that recently on a pod, and
it's also everyone I know with kids that was like trying to be a comedian.
Right.
So we have a weird sample size of.
Yeah, she knows a lot of artists, but I just feel like anytime I imagine my idealized life, and I'm not even like joking, there's never like 2 Rugrats like. Running around, but dude, I was sorry. What
no, I cut you off.
I was thinking about this though too. Like the other day, it's like I do think I could pull off. Like I think if you envision me as a dad, it does kind of make sense.
Sure, yeah.
Like I could be like, I could, turn to my kid and be like, I don't know what's up with your mom, but let's lock it in. Let's lock it up here, dude. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Dude, can't you see me being like, I don't know, man, she's the boss, or some shit like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Or being like the assistant coach on the Little League team.
Wow.
I can see that. I can do it.
I can see it.
I can see it. There's a universe where I'm like suburb dad. I got like the bad jeans on and the collared shirt. I get it.
Dude, this is how I know that I maybe don't want to have kids also is I'm like, oh, they're so cute. And then I could like take them to the brunch show at the Cellar. Like I'm imagining like living my life exactly the same, but there's just like a cute little kid walking next to me. And it's like, no, it's their life.
Right, of course.
Your life is their life now, which is like beautiful and noble, but like, I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of just want to like vibe. Also, like the world is so scary that I'm like,
yeah.
Maybe just lean into like having fun, going out with a bang.
It would, well, what having a kid, it will ultimately, because like for me, it'll have to be like ultimately admitting to yourself that I want to live in Columbus one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never could. The only way I could see it's like, oh, if you're like a millionaire and you live in New York City.
Right.
It's like, but that's
to me having kids is like, yeah, you are relegating yourself to like a certain suburban lifestyle.
Yeah,
I
don't think I could handle it.
Because the comics that raise kids here, it's like more power to them. I get it. Like that's what you're doing. But I would be like, if I was with someone and she wanted to have kids, and let's say if I wanted to have kids with her, I'd be like, well, it's not going to be in the East Village. It's not going to be in even Brooklyn. I don't know. It's seeing parents like take their strollers like down the L, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Scary. That's so scary.
You're like,
it smells like pit. Like whatever's in the air should not be getting into like a baby's lungs.
Right.
Like I can barely take care of like myself here.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm probably biased, but like if a kid, to me, if I'm having a kid, the kid should have the I think the Americana, go to the football games on Friday. Like I think that's I do think that's
I grew up in like a little college town and like, yeah, I don't think I would want to, I would not. Actually, my parents moved out. I was born in LA and we moved out of LA partially because they were like, saw how fast kids grew up in a big city and they were like, we don't want that for them. We want them to be able to like be kids.
Yeah. There was a girl in my creative writing class in college and she like grew up in proper Manhattan and all of her short stories were about being like 16 and like drinking with bands and like dudes in their 20s and
That's horrifying.
And just like smoking cigs and like being out till 3. And I'm just like, when
That's
I was
so
16,
scary.
like we were watching Step Brothers in my buddy's basement and like, playing Mario.
Wait, actually,
Party.
I said that, but then when I was 16, I was doing that exact thing, but at open mics in North Carolina.
Dude.
So at least she was like in the big city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there wasn't a creepy element to it. It was like sweet.
You did you kind of grew up you had to grow up pretty fast.
But also like, I think it was there's a little chicken and the egg situation, you know what I mean? Of like, those kids that are like, I get along with the teachers. And it's like, ugh, go to an open mic, hang out with a 40-year-old weirdo. Oh, you like your English teacher so much? How about you hang out with a bunch of 40-year-old aspiring writers?
Right.
I little freak.
I do think we went on a little bit of a tangent. I want to put a bow on it.
Okay.
The immediate reacts to the Ozempic. How are you feeling? How is it going? And like, you're happy with it, right?
Great.
Well, what's been other people's reactions? How are you? Like, are you just?
I'm an open book about talking about it because I think it's like, they're doing all these studies that, not to be Joe Rogan and say some science shit with like no fucking whatever, but like there's like thoughts that they might eventually be able to use it to treat like alcoholism and gambling addiction. And it's like, dude, like, I don't know, at a certain point, feeling how I felt, like literally hours after I took the first shot, I was like walked by a bodega and I was like, whoa, I didn't even look at it. Literally the only time I've like not eaten shit is when I'm like eaten so much that I'm so sick to my stomach I can't eat more, or when I'm taking all of my mental energy to be like, don't fucking eat that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was literally maybe the first time in my life that I was like, oh no, I'm good.
That's amazing.
Like, I've never felt that before. And I was like, oh, if this is how normal people's brains operate, I could lose. I get why if you felt that way all the time, you'd be like, just don't eat as much. Because I was like, oh, this was literally like a chemical like switch was flipped. And I think I'm such an emotional eater that like feelings that I was trying to avoid by eating, now that I don't have that outlet, I'm like, I actually have to like deal with them. So like, even if I
Whoa.
didn't lose weight on this, the like whatever it's done to my brain and my like impulsivity, pleasure seeking shit, it's like I would take it just for that, even if it didn't affect my weight.
Yes.
It's great.
Eventually, you're going to look in the mirror and go, I look great. Why am I still sad?
100%. That's why we got the blonde preemptively. You know what I mean? We kind of just follow that spiral down. No, yeah, there is that thing too.
In like
People always
4
say that,
months,
but I'm like,
dude, yeah.
but I'm like, I don't know.
No, dude,
I kind of think I'll be chilling.
No, dude, when you
I kind of think it'll be great.
everyone has, I mean, like, do you know like a theory that I always have is that like people always say they'll say that girls don't care about like guys' weight as much. And I fully disagree, one, from personal experience, but two, no one is more perceptive and more keen to weight than women. So when a guy loses 6 pounds, girls are like, you look better. Girls know.
Interesting.
So people always say like, yeah, the girls don't care. They don't care. They notice, but they probably care. They probably care less, but they fucking notice when it's going like wet. Like when you when
a guy has a glow up, you are like, whoa, like we talk. But also, I think the care less thing is because it's like maybe women put a little more weight on like, well, he's funny or he makes money or blah blah blah, like those kinds of things. So it's like they care less in the sense that like, oh, I noticed, but that's not the only factor.
Yes, they care less, but it is like, but if you are doing the like, if you are like losing it, they're gonna be like, it's a even better. That's my earth shattering take. Here's something that I was having a discussion with some comics about this. They're in relationships, location sharing, friends, relationships. Do you have any hard opinions on this? Because this is a thing that I didn't know was like such a big deal.
I could see how people in the wrong hands, it could be a very controlling, weird, like I have to know where you are at all times thing. Yeah. But like with my friends, like if I'm on a date or something, I share my location with my mom too. Cause I'm like, God forbid if I'm on the road and I'm like kidnapped by an Uber driver or something, I'm like, I want my mom to have my location and know where to find me. Like, yeah, if I was on a date or going to a guy's house, I would probably.
Is there anyone besides your mom that has your location?
It might just be her.
Okay.
I think there's everyone else where I'm like, I might tell them a white lie and say that I'm somewhere I'm not, and that's why I can't do a thing.
Right.
But my mom, I like will not bullshit her.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what about
what about you?
How long would you? No one has my location.
Okay.
No one cares that I'm on this earth, apparently. But what? Who do you want? Thank you. I know you can.
Me.
Yeah, I'll give you my location. But I would you at a certain point of dating somebody, would you want their location? Because this is what happens. So I think I was in a green room and like two of the comics were married dudes, and they were like, at some point, your girl's gonna want your location. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's there's any legitimacy to it? Connor, I want your thoughts on it too. And if you ever, because this is a phenomenon that's only in the past few years. I think it's a breach of trust, but I don't know. Like my sister, mom, my aunt are all like locationed up. I get it, but I don't know. I didn't think everyone was doing this.
It wouldn't really cross my mind. It's never crossed my mind in a relationship, but the only time I could really see it is maybe like if I was like, we have kids together and I could see some emergency scenario where I need to know where you, like if I was really like, oh, this person is like my life partner and I want to know like in an emergency, be able to like reach them or help them or something. But I don't think I'd be the type of person that'd be like looking for where, if you're like, where are they? And looking at their location instead of talking to them, you have like a bad relationship. So that wouldn't really cross my mind. But I would be like, I usually have it, I think, if it was like, let's just have for in case of emergencies and then put it away and forget about it. And if you can't put it away and forget about it, then you probably have some deeper problems in your relationship.
Oh.
That would be my take.
Yeah, but put it away and forget about it. It's easy to say because in theory you can just check, right?
I think so, yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, how do I know?
But I'm saying if you're checking, it's because you're wondering that they're cheating. Like, there's something wrong.
Well, so here's the double-edged sort of it, is that like, is the guy, let's just say guy, girl, like, let's say if you were my girlfriend and you wanted my location, I'm saying, well, you don't trust me That's why you want my location.
Sure.
And you're and you're saying, no, I do trust you. I just want in case of emergencies, right?
But to me, that would have to be like life partner. Like I'd honestly probably have to be like married to them, or we've been dating for like 5 years or something. If I've been dating someone for like 6 months to a year, I think location is like kind of crazy. It'd have to be like we're living together.
Right. Okay.
Like it would have to literally be, okay. Oh, you know what? Here's what it is. It has to be a serious enough relationship that I am your emergency contact.
If I'm your emergency contact, I get your location.
Because that's fair. Because then it's like, if you were in a car accident or something and I was like, oh my God, he's here and I'm going to be the one calling 911. If our relationship is new enough, your emergency contact is still your parents.
Yeah.
Then no location. That would be my rule.
Okay. So let's say you're with a guy, so you're married to a guy and you're going, hey, listen, I'm your emergency contact. We've done the wedding. We've done the whole thing. Give me your location. Now, if the guy was still like, I just don't like, I think this is, I can say this on the Patreon. One of our buddies, one of our friends, he's been with this girl for like 6 years now, maybe 7. And she wants his location. He hates it. And that's
is it mutual? Because to me, I would be like, we should share each other's locations in case one of us was like in a car accident or something.
And I think that's if
it's one way, that's kind of fucking crazy.
I don't know. No, I think she wants his, and I don't think he cares to have. I don't think he's so. But he's just like the way he feels. He's just like it. Just feels like someone's kind of watching me.
I mean, honestly, I get that.
I think that's the crux.
If I felt like my partner was checking it all the time, that would weird me out. It would really have to be like, I forget that I'm sharing it with my mom. I never check it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I know. And that's something that like,
that would be a little suffocating. I get that.
I don't know. I want people to chime in, our listeners, to chime in on what the right way to do this is. Because I'm fascinated by it. I really am.
It's really difficult.
Connor, you have any thoughts?
I think he stepped out to let people in.
Damn, Connor. We needed you.
You know what they should introduce? Is well, never mind. That's stupid.
What?
I was going to say a feature that's like my location kinda. And it tells you like a wide radius. So you can't see like what house they're at, but you can be like, yeah, he is in Cincinnati, like he said. But I can't follow you down the block to which bar and blah, blah, blah.
And that's probably going to make us $1 billion. Yeah. It's like,
it's called worst GPS.
Yeah. It's my location kinda. My location kinda is.
Wait, should we actually launch this?
I mean, this would be great because it's like, because if
holy fuck.
Yeah. If you
cut that, legitimately, actually, we're probably gonna make a lot of money on
we're gonna make a ton of money on this. Because also, if you're my girlfriend, because like, if you're my girlfriend, you're like, well, I want to know where you're at, and I'm like, well, you can know kind of where I'm at, right? You can know like, you can know the area, but you don't know where I'm at, right?
Yeah, which is what it should have been before too. Which you call me and go, hey, I'm in Cincinnati. I'm at the crossroads of blah, blah, blah. Like,
right. Because the jealous partner who's like, why are you at this bar?
That's crazy.
But in our app, my location kinda, you know where to find me, but you can't make assumptions. You know?
Wow.
Right?
It's
my location kinda. That's the sauce. That's the sauce.
Dude.
My location kinda. Cause like if your partner wants to know your location, this allows that to happen.
Mm. But
you win at the end of the day.
Wow.
But they don't have to be like, but then they're not suffocating.
And what about this? My location kinda, you get the kind of general radius of where they are. But if they want to say like, show me specifically where he is, it'll show you, but then they get an alert that they looked at your specific location.
Yeah.
So in an emergency, you could still be like, oh my gosh, ambulance, he's at this bar on these cross streets. But if she's checking your location all the time, then you get notifications. And you're like, why? I told you I was in Cincinnati. I was in Cincinnati. Why'd you look at what bar I was at?
Why are you checking in on me like that? Why are you suffocating me? The app could be called also, why are you suffocating me?
And the button to check the location the button just says suffocate.
Choke out. Dude, I think we just solved a lot of couples problems.
That's crazy.
Yes. My location kind of. I mean,
it wouldn't be that hard to make.
Imagine
either,
us
right?
on Shark Tank, but all we have is this information. Like we don't have a product. We don't have any data. We don't have anything sold. No, but it's just like, couples like break up over this stuff.
We got a buddy. We're still not saying it in front of the sharks. We're like, we got a buddy.
Yeah, we know the buddy.
Yeah.
We're not saying it. We have a buddy who like has a real, you guys know this couple. They break up over this stuff. And then, Mark Cuban's like, I'm not really sold. You guys have no sales. You guys have no data. Yeah, but Mark, you're a cheater. You cheat on your wife, Mark. This will help you do that. We know you're a piece of shit.
The visual lady, the lady comes in with a gun and is like, fuck you. And we're like, this happens all too often. Like we're going, why the fuck are you on Shark Tank? You said you were at work. Has this ever happened to you?
That's our commercial. The guy starts with a guy getting shot by his girlfriend. Does this ever happen to you, folks? That's so good. Okay, but I want to move on because this is a question that I had. I want to give a shout out. We've got a pretty big indie rock band that follows us, Peach Pit. There's some others obviously out there, National Park Service and others that listen to the pod, and some great this is kind of an indie rock pod, I'll say that. But
Let's go.
I was looking at, I remember thinking like when Peach Pit followed me and followed the pod and we started like DMing a little bit, I was like just walking on air for a few days. You've had a blow up the past like couple of years. You're obviously doing great. Have you had any big followers recently where you're you're like, this is fucking crazy?
Dude, Kat Dennings followed me on Instagram and will I hope it's okay to say, watches my stories a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, freaking the fuck out. I think she's so fucking cool.
Yeah, she
and
made
so
a dent
pretty.
on
I mean,
me.
that one blew my mind. That's the crazy. That'll forever be the craziest one of all time, I think.
Kat, because you probably watched her show growing up, right?
What was her first one?
Wasn't it Two Broke Girls? Wasn't she in Two
But
Broke
I feel like
Girls?
she did something before that.
Wait,
made her,
Connor, can you pull up
famous.
Kat Dennings, please? I wouldn't mind looking at a pic too.
Kat, we love you, and I respect you as an artist.
Yeah, Two Broke Girls, right?
Yeah, but I thought she was in something before that blew her up. I mean, she was in Marvel and stuff, but
oh, really?
I thought I knew her from a Nickelodeon show or something.
40-Year-Old Virgin. What was she in? I don't know actually.
Was she?
So
but that one blew my mind.
Did she give you any flowers?
Bro.
What's up?
No, you know who's even I shouldn't say even crazier. I love you, Kat. We've never talked.
Yeah, you're the king. Yeah.
I was DMing with Michael Jackson's daughter.
What?
I was like, who's this girl Paris that just sent me a book recommendation? And then I clicked on her thing and I was like, oh, why does she have 6 million followers? And I was like, oh, you're Michael Jackson's daughter.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
She's cool?
Yeah, she's really cool. She recommended me a book. I need to read it.
Dude.
Have you had to read it?
Dude,
it did sound cool though.
What's his name? Ryan Felipe? Ryan Felipe? Have you seen what movie is he was married to Reese Witherspoon, hot blonde guy.
Oh shit.
He was in Cruel Intentions.
Haven't seen it, but
Reese Witherspoon, you were doing the mics. You were doing the mics when that was good. He was married to Reese Witherspoon. And he's really into Dan Carney stuff, and it was weird to see this guy. Can you look up Ryan Felipe? I just got to show Maddie.
Well,
real
dude,
quick.
do you remember when Drake
Felipe?
reposted Jamie Wolf's shit?
Oh yeah,
that shit was crazy, and it was pre-Kendrick, so we were like, "Whoa!"
No,
sick.
we were all like, "Yeah, no." We were. It is like, oh yeah. Does this guy ring any bells at all? No?
Oh, I've definitely seen him and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was just at the Run Club premiere, just kind of hanging out. But it is
wow,
interesting that I don't know, dude. You know what's interesting? So some of these people, they like our content or whatever. and they think that like comics are cool. But I don't know, to me, musicians are just like an untouchable.
Dude, when I see a female musician, I'm like, oh, you do an art form that's like beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you do a thing that is beautiful. And our thing is like, like poking my thumbs in my eyes and shit. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to do the voice there, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, that shit is like, your art is like,
no, like they
pretty.
They make stuff that like, that makes you cry. You know, that like moves you. That like it makes you rethink the world. And we just like we were just going for like little dumb.
And worst case scenario with music is it's like plays in an elevator and people don't notice it. Best case scenario is like they're dancing, they conceive a child to it. You know, it's like beautiful. Ours is like best case scenario is like haha, and worst case scenario is like, hey, I'll fucking kill you, man. Like the range is a lot more upsetting. The joy, the risk reward for like joy and pleasure in comedy seems.
Yeah, there's not like a lot of lines in rock music or in music in general that will make a right-wing person be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
Although you know what? I take that back. I guess Elvis and shit and like Megan Thee Stallion, like people do lose their shit over like the sexual, like.
Like isn't like being over sexualized.
Like wet ass pussy. Ben Shapiro like lost his fucking mind and was like, oh, actually, vaginas should not be wet.
Oh yeah,
I think that was like a real thing he said.
What a bad take, Ben.
Yeah,
he was like, my wife is like a gynecologist, and she says that vaginas should not be wet.
Yeah, when they're too wet, they're just that's unhealthy. Yeah, it's an unhealthy pussy, actually. Yeah, that sucks. No, that sucks big time. Yeah, I'm always like interested in like the kind of the cross. Because some people we know, they're just like, you know, there's some like actors, musicians that are really into Tierra Whack. Do you know her? She's
sure. Is she into comedy?
She goes to this comedy show that I did.
Dude.
Yeah, it was a pretty big. Yeah, just to see people. I heard people come to the Cellar a lot. Like, what's
someone I found out is into comedy that I want to meet so bad. Matthew Gray Gubler from Criminal Minds.
I don't know.
I think that dude is so fucking funny. But apparently he. I don't know if I should say, but I think it's known that he like he did like Pete Holmes' podcast and shit. It's like there's some celebrities where you're like, oh, you're like weirdly comedy adjacent, and I didn't know. Dua Lipa was at the Cellar one time.
No,
that was crazy.
I think Jamie. I actually remember this. Jamie Wolf saying that he went on right after she left, and he was so mad.
I bombed in front of Matt Damon one time at the Stand.
Really?
Is this getting annoying, like name droppy? It's not a cool story. It's like I bombed.
This is the stuff right here. So upstairs?
Downstairs. Tough look.
Weekend
hot guy, Matt Damon.
Weekend show, hot show. What was going on? What was the deal?
I mean, not to be this guy, but it wasn't like it was a hot show, and I was like, Mr. Damon, I love you, and I shit my pants. Like it was just a tough. It was a
bad
tough
show,
one.
yeah.
But he was in the back, and someone told me before, and I was like,
were people trying to get were people calling him out?
Yeah, but I think there was a thing of like, they were like, you know, to the club's credit, they were like, don't go on stage and be like, fucking Matt Damon's, like, don't blow up his spot and make the show weird.
Yes.
But the comics had noticed, but no one was gonna say it on stage and make it a whole thing.
Right.
But like I saw someone do like extra like Jason Bourne references that I was like, you don't do that shit. You know what I mean?
That's so lame.
Like
no, that's so fucking lame. All you want when a famous person is like watching you, all you want them is just like your act.
Yeah.
Doing
Ben Stiller one time.
Oh.
I met him at the Cellar and he said like good set or something and I was like,
yeah, that's fucking so
that was
cool.
crazy.
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller.
He's short in real life?
Normal
size?
Not that I noticed. No, he seemed like I
want him to be, I suppose. No, it's really interesting.
Thinking like Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is short.
How tall is Tom Cruise? He's like really short, right?
Ben Stiller, 5'7". I guess to me everyone's short.
Yeah, because to me that's tall. Like I'm like 5'2", 5'3", something.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
They're the same height? No way.
Look at that, dude. I'm telling you. Well, yeah, you're 5'2",
wow.
bro. Everyone's kind of
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question from a
side by side foot
from a listener. Oh wait.
And don't come. I know that's very pick me, girl. Oh my God, your hands are so big. But like, dog, this is crazy. Like that's not me trying to be like. That's like one of those like cyanotypes from the 1800s where they're like the smallest man and the biggest man met at a circus.
Oh, dude, yeah, we can be a carnival act in 1902. In 1902, we could be a carnival act. Just the tall man and the woman that gains and loses 20 pounds on a whim. The shape-shifting girl. The sometimes skinny, sometimes not girl. No, dude. Seriously, I'm pumped that it's working, that it's doing what you want. The shit, like, you worry about the side effects and shit. So
I've had like no side effects. It's pretty great. And honestly, like, and I don't mean to harp on it for too long, but it's like, I think I wouldn't really give as much of a fuck if it wasn't for stand up. Like in the sense that, like, you know, I think most people are like, oh, I'd like to be in like better shape, but it's like we're just looking at videos of ourselves all the time, and you're so like out. People are commenting on you, and if you're a woman, people commenting on your body all the time, and I'm sure if you're a man too. So it's like,
of course,
I was just like, oh, I can't do this for the next 50 years,
right? And
I need like a little armor, or I'm gonna go fucking insane.
Or how about when someone like takes a selfie with you after the show, and you're just like, ooh, I hope they don't fucking post
that. Dude, you moved to New York, and you're just getting every like pictures of you from the front row up under your chin, and you're like, dude, this is like,
because they're posting and they say something like really nice, like, oh, awesome show, whatever, and you look like a goblin. No,
I literally, it's like hurting my career. I was like, I'm not posting clips because like I don't like how I look. We just simply can't be doing that.
Yeah, you have a set where you're just absolutely murdering, and you're like, unusable.
Literally,
I don't like how I look. Yeah, no. Yeah,
oh my God, I've done tapings before, and I looked at it and I cried. I was like, oh my God, I hate this. Then I was like, actually, that was like a good set. I literally just look fat. That's literally all it was. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I look fat. My whole set is like, look how fat I am. What would I look like saying those things? Do you have that though too, where people take pictures and you're like, oh,
dude,
because you're like a good looking dude. Like I would think that you were like cruising along, you know?
Dude, it's a very like, like those days where you just, at least for you, do you still drink? I don't know, a little bit.
Nah, not like pretty much not at all.
Well, I do. And yeah, there's nights, man, where I have a few beers, I have some pizza next day, and I just, you're bloated, whatever. You're always. The thing is too. So the thing is about like being like, I guess like a skinnier dude or whatever my body type is. If you throw on, at least to me, a couple extra pounds, that becomes pretty like noticeable, at least in my opinion.
Really, you think I would think it would be more noticeable if you were shorter, because for you it's like dispersed. I don't mean to like
it must
invalidate it, but I would think you could.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think going back to the athletic director and the trainer and my coaches, like having a team of grown men tell me at 19, like you have to lose 20 pounds.
Whoa, you were getting like Russian ballet teacher, like I can see your lunch treatment?
Yeah, it was like.
Dude, that's fucked.
So I think that kind of really changed the way I think about like my. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I can't imagine.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah.
So when you have to do that, especially when you're working out like 3 times a day or whatever, and everyone like my teammates are just ordering Papa John's, and like it's weird to be 19 and being like in a quote elite athlete and just being like, how many carbs are in like this shit? Or
that's
like how much
crazy.
Yeah.
Also, because it's not just for your looks, it's like you're pursuing that as a career, presumably. So it's like,
yeah, of course.
You're like, oh, it's not like the amount of importance that must have been placed on that.
No, it was like, it's just, it's weird to be so
I take it back. Maybe you could handle being a woman.
Dude.
I think you're kind of there.
I got an intro to it, that's for sure. Yeah, it's weird to be like that body image based, or having that kind of. No guy at 19 or no one at 19 should be. And I understand like there's a lot of women that have it in a much worse way, but it's like having that thrusted on me, especially when it's like your dream. Like I'm going to like a dream. I always wanted to play at Notre Dame, and I get there and they're like, you're like a fat dude. You're like a fat guy.
Damn.
And being told that and just being like, fuck, dude. Like, so
that's also really fucked up, because it's like, they're talking about it from an elite athlete perspective, but you're not like a fat guy. Like I'm assuming you weren't like 400 pounds. You know what I mean? Like
no, it was just like, yeah, if you want to play at this level, it was one coach like said to me, he's like, white guys at this level got to be in great shape or something like that. It was like shit like that. It was like you gotta, but that's neither here nor there. I'm doing fine now. Everyone looks good. But yeah, I that's my only like way to be like, I know a little bit of what you might have gone through. But I told one of our listeners I would get to this question.
Okay.
Because I do think it's good. You don't have to say let me know. And also, if you want to save it for the Patreon, if you have an answer and you go, I'm going to answer that later, that's totally fine. This is from Katie G. What's the most offensive thing male comedians or bookers have said to you during your comedy career?
I did a show one time.
Oh, we are in. And we're in, folks.
On a military base, and they brought me up and said, it was North Carolina. They were like, I think this is the first woman we've ever had on this stage. Give it up for Maddie Wiener.
No.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
3 years, maybe.
Wow. This is the first woman we've had on this stage.
Yeah.
Just maybe they thought they were being nice. No, not even.
No, I think it was literally just like goldfish brained word association. Like, I noticed something, so I'm going to say it. We didn't have any ladies here. No ladies.
A military base in where? In Carolina?
Yeah, so like near like Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, I think. It wasn't on the base, but like the town was like the...
Yeah.
And then it actually ended up being a fun show. And then this guy afterwards cornered me and was like, so you probably like Kamala and shit. And I was like, buddy, no, because I'm farther left than you think I am, actually. But
right.
But that one was wild. You get a lot of like, it doesn't offend. I mean, I guess offend. I don't know. It was more just like shocked me because I think I had a little bit of like a sheltered, like, I was like, sexism's over.
Oh,
like
right.
I didn't like a lot of the show was like, oh, I didn't really encounter this before stand up.
Right.
But like guys coming up being like, you know, when you came on, I was like, oh, a lady. But then like you were good.
Oh, wow.
But they say it to you like, well, you know, obviously I was bummed when I saw you.
Yeah.
Like as if you're gonna be like, oh, of course I know. And I'm like, no. What?
No, dude,
it's insane.
It's crazy that you, like my friends that have seen you, like their jaws are like on the floor after your set. They're like, it's funny. It's you like, yeah, surpass like the whole, like, I think I can watch guys watching your set and go like, oh, okay. And then like in the middle, they're like, oh, really fun. And then at the end, they're like, holy, people are like, holy shit. That's
good. Really sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you kind
dude.
of, no, what's interesting is that like, I think some guys, you know, you can see, I think there are probably some guys in comedy who will be like, oh, well, she got that because she's like a girl or whatever. Like
this is where being fat comes in clutch. That's why you got to start fat, just so you know that you're like, hey, what do you think? I fucked my way to this?
Yeah.
No, I fucked the guys on the shows I'm not booked on.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm banned from.
Those are the guys that hate me. Yeah, dude, no,
but I actually do think in a weird way, traditionally hot girls get like a different kind of misogyny because people assume that kind of stuff about them. And if you're kind of like, whatever, this is not even me like fishing for compliments, but if guys don't want to fuck you, it's like, oh, well, now you're kind of like one of the guys. Like it doesn't mean you have no sexism, but it's like a different thing.
Yes.
I think guys kind of be like, you're a woman or you're just like a person. But you can't be both. What am I gonna fuck you and talk to you?
You cannot be both. Yeah. It's interesting that like what I was interested in was because I heard like Taylor Tomlinson like kind of had a situation like this where club bookers, you know, what are you, 26 now?
Yeah.
You know, when you are headlining at 26, some club bookers, at least I heard Taylor Tomlinson say this on a pod, where like club bookers would put like a veteran road dog to feature to like not to like be a dick, but yeah, to kind of be a dick and be like,
yeah,
we'll try to follow that young lady or whatever like that.
Oh wow.
Have you had any shit like that where like maybe Taylor now a little bit older, maybe she had to deal with some shit like in the 2000s or 2010s, I suppose.
Yeah, even that difference might be like, but also I don't know. I honestly feel like I've really, really lucked out with like comics and bookers and shit. Like I've really not had hardly any weird interactions with guys.
Yeah.
Like I actually am like, oh, love this community. It's been very good.
Yeah.
So like for the most part, no, but like that doesn't surprise me, I guess. The kind of like try to keep up little lady.
Right.
That's the kind of thing is I don't think women are just afforded the chance to be mediocre and get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a very sink or swim thing right away.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Because if she does follow it, then they're like, oh, fuck, this girl, let's go. But it's like, how many people couldn't follow that person, but in 5 years would be a great comic, but then get kind of boxed out because of shit like that? You know what I mean? It's like, whereas guys kind of get to like, I think have a little more of a playpen. I don't even mean to make it, guys have it easier. But girls, sink or swim.
Guys show up to open mics with 5 of their friends. Girls sometimes show up by themselves being like a little like it's a little nerve wracking. You're at an open mic. There's 20 guys. It's just you. And
maybe
20
someone
guys.
says some weird shit to you, whatever.
Yeah. And so it's like, and then if it doesn't go that well, you think they're judging you. It's a very like tough.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like if it doesn't go well, you can kind of get written off. Yeah, girl, like immediately. Or if you do impress people, then you're like,
yeah.
But it's like versus like, kind of tough set. Keep doing it for a few years. Like obviously that happens, but I think like if I'm painting with a really broad brush, like like Taylor Tomlinson, I'm like, oh yeah, but then she probably did follow those guys and crushed, and they were like, holy fuck,
Man, that's a perspective I didn't think about. Yeah, girls don't really have that kind of like sense of community early on as much.
Yeah,
so you have to kind of be on your own. You have to push through, and then you have to deal with literal creeps too.
And so I would say not even just like early on. Like I don't mean to make this like a complaining episode. Like I love my boys. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But like there's sometimes when you're like at like in the green room at a club, and it's like it's literally happened like maybe twice a year where you look around and you're like, oh my god, it's all women in here right now. And you're like, that fucking never happens. Because it's always like one girl on a show, maybe two.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like when I started, it was like, oh, there were other kids like my age. Like there were people like 18 to 20. And then there were women, but they were older. There were no young women like in North Carolina for the first few years I did it, really. And so it's like, yeah, but I didn't even really notice it at the time. You know what I mean? I was like, I love these guys, we're hanging out. But then looking back, you're like, oh, I lucked. If you luck out with like a good crew of people, but
yeah, it seems to be things are getting, they're not equal, but they're getting close to equal. And if a guy ever says some shit, then come on the pod and we'll out him. That'll be great.
Also, I think you talk to like older female comics and the shit they've been through. It's like, dude, we have it so easy compared to them. Yeah, like they were all just like, yeah, someone would be like, fuck me, and then I'll put you on this thing. Like it's just like,
I can only imagine.
So recently was so bad.
I actually have a story that I'm gonna save for the Patreon just for that. We're gonna table this actually. I wonder if I'll be able to. I'll say it on the Tron. I don't care. It'll be cool.
I'll try to think on other like.
And I think you'll have an interesting perspective on it. It'll be good goss for the Tron. But let's do another listener question. This is from Alex. I think he might have had a last name on here, but I didn't write it down. But we forgot to get to you last week for this question. Little advice Alex was looking for, or I think he was saying. Yeah, okay. He's I was on a third date with a girl at a museum recently, and she told me she didn't want to hold hands because it felt too coupley, quote. A few days later, I told her it wasn't going to work out. I feel like hand-holding is so low commitment. What are the boys' thoughts on this? Oh, I guess this is an older question, I suppose, from 2 weeks ago. What are the boys' thoughts on this? And we were seeing each other for about a month and a half, by the way. So this girl. So seeing each other.
Third date, month and a half.
Third date, month and a half. You might have outed yourself here, Alex. Third date, month and a half. He wanted to hold hands. She said it was too coupley. I'll say this. I think I don't go for the. It takes me for a while to go for the handhold, but I think a third. I think if you've had sex, you can hold a hand.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like someone that really just wanted to hook up. Because I get it. It's like if I had a crush on somebody, I would want to hold their hand. Right. If I was just fucking somebody, which like does not really appeal to me, but like then I'd be like, I'm just fucking. But you're at a museum. You're at a museum. That's pretty coupley.
I know.
I think this guy was probably fair to.
Museums are like, it's either like a first date or like we've been going on for 5 years.
Yeah, we're 50 years old and we're watching pigeons after we do this.
Yeah, like a first date. Yeah, like a museum is kind of a. But I also think he was kind of quick to be like, okay, well, I guess it's over. Like,
yeah, that's pretty intense.
You kind of
gave
up.
Be a couple first, because it sounds like maybe if you guys became a couple, then she would hold your hand.
A few days later, I told her it wasn't going to work out. Huh? I told her.
Did he say why the reason he gave her?
A few days later, I told her it wasn't going to work out. I feel like hand holding is so low commitment. I feel like hand holding is so low commitment.
I mean,
if I was, let's say, seeing a girl for a month and a half, I went to hold her hand and she's like, this feels, I think that's a signal from her, probably.
Yeah.
That's probably her being like, she was gonna break it off eventually anyway.
Yeah, because he was like, I really like this guy, but I'm not ready to hold his hand yet.
Also, the fact that it's 3 dates in 6 weeks, you're going out once every 2 weeks.
Right.
There's no urgency there to see that person.
Yeah, she's not banging down your door.
Yeah, I think he made a decent move.
Yeah. So she went out with him a couple times. It seems like begrudgingly, no offense. A couple weeks later, you finally get a hold of her for the museum, you know?
Yeah.
Not trying to be a dick here. You get her for the museum. But what I will say, so then she goes, no, like, we're not a couple. I think, honestly, man, I respect you getting out ahead of it and breaking it off yourself.
That is so much cooler than being like, okay,
yeah,
let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. Being like, oh,
yeah, that's
hey,
actually that's kind of sick.
Hey, actually, I know you didn't want to hold hands, but like we should get dinner next week. Like, I think being like, oh, you don't want to hold my hand? Well, guess what? It's fucking over, babe. It's over now. I respect that, Alex.
Yeah,
that
is cool as fuck.
We were seeing each other about a month and a half. Third date. Doesn't all add up, but yeah. Any final thoughts on it?
No, I think you're right. I think that's a baller move.
Okay. Let's do one more question, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. You know, we'll do a couple more listener questions on the end here. But here's the or in the Patreon. Here's a question that I like to ask comics. What are you doing if you have like a Wednesday night off? What are you doing?
Ooh.
You have a night off. You are not allowed to do stand-up. You are not allowed to go to a comedy show. I find myself lately, like, even if I have a night off, I'll just like go hang at somewhere at like a show. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
I would like see a movie with friends.
Okay.
In theory, I would go to a yoga class, but that is yet to actually transpire. I have class pass and I have paid the cancellation fee many a time.
Yeah. Class pass. Yeah.
But movie with friends, like dinner with friends, honestly, like a date. Like I've like been like, oh, I might start taking nights off because I want to like start dating.
Yeah.
And it's like, literally, when the fuck do you do that?
No, I totally agree. The night off is you feel like a fish out of water sometimes.
It's so weird.
And
then you're like, I can't believe this is people just get this.
Because your schedule is so set. Because you're so used to being like, well, I'll do that before the show or I'll do that after the show. And then you're so used to explaining to people, hey, I get out of this thing at 9, so if you can meet up at 9:30. Hey, I get out of this thing at 8, so you can meet up at 8:45, whatever. And then when you just have the night off,
you're like, what the fuck do you mean a 7 p.m. dinner?
Yeah.
That literally doesn't make sense in my head.
I've been doing this thing now. Like I'll throw it on the calendar ahead of time where I'll get like a couple buddies from my college that I have out here, and I'll be like, hey, dudes dinner Wednesday.
Oh,
2 weeks from now.
Oh,
let's
I love
let's
that.
get this going. I think that's like a big deal to me to have that and like look forward to it and have it. But so night off is a movie, or a dinner or yoga. Do you remember your last night off? Because sometimes I'm just like sitting.
Way to call me on my shit. I was like, did I just sit in my room?
No. I'll just sit.
I'll sit.
I think last week I had a night off and I just watched White Lotus and like ordered in.
Dude, that's the more realistic. Like, yeah, it's like binge a TV show. I was finishing I was watching The Pit.
I haven't seen it.
That emergency room show on HBO.
Oh shit, is it
so good? Or I'll rewatch House.
Okay.
I love rewatching House.
Okay, I gotta watch. I also heard Grey's Anatomy. I gotta get into.
That's what everyone says, and I have no idea. I guess I don't know what it's
Connor,
about.
can you confirm Grey's?
All I know is it used to be on after Survivor. Never seen an episode though.
Okay,
I'm a big Survivor fan, but.
All right. Well, we're gonna wind this bad boy down with not knowing anything about Grey's. It could be good. It could not be good.
I'm just kind of staring off into space that we still have Tom Cruise's height up.
Yeah.
Honestly, 5'7" is taller than I thought. I thought he was gonna be like 5'4".
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was supposed to be like super
He
short.
could be 5'5", and that's like adjusted media. His publicist might be like, say he's 5'7".
Yeah.
Let's do some plugs. Where can people find you, Maddie?
I have a podcast called Phone is in the Bag with my buddy Kenyon. Alex did an episode. You can check that out. And I'm on Instagram at Maddie T. Wiener. All my tour dates are in my bio on my Punch Up Live. And it's also a mailing list where you can sign up to see when I'm coming to your city.
Awesome pod. It's really funny. Check it out. See Maddie if you're in New York. See her in the city. See her on the road. She's one of the best in the game. We're about to roll in the Patreon. and we're gonna start off with a little spice, I think. But yeah, Maddie Wiener, guys. This has been episode. What episode is this, Connor?
165.
165 of You're an Idiot, guys. It's been a great app. We'll see you next week. Thank you.